أعزائي المشاهدين، أهلا وسهلا بكم بحلقة جديدة، لقاء مع شخصية. اليوم الشخصية اللي مرشحة نفسها إلى حاكمة قاضية في ولاية ميشيغان الأمريكية، سبريم كورت جادج، المحكمة العليا في ولاية ميشيغان الأمريكية. معاكم مقدم البرنامج نجار من برنامج موفرز اند شيكرز من على قناة MEA TV and Radio. ويانا شو ما قلنا السيدة كيمبرلي تامس راح نتحدث معاها اليوم، واللي هي مرشحة نفسها لمنصب المحكمة العليا في ولاية ميشيغان الأمريكية. وإن شاء الله من خلال حديثنا معاها راح تتعرفون على شخصية كيمبرلي، وراح تعرفون من تروحون الانتخابات الالكشن يوم 6/8 من راح تنتخبون. وهذا طبعا احنا ما نشجع وما نكسر باي شخص، احنا نعطيكم لكم المجال تتعرفون على الشخصيه حتى تعرفون لمن تصوتون يوم اوغست 6 وبنوفمبر. راح تصوتون لهم وتعرفون الشخصيه اللي تصوتون لها. فراح ننتقل الى السيده كيمبرلي ونحكي وياها، وان شاء الله تستفادون من هذا البرنامج من هذا اللقاء. Kimberly, welcome to our show.
Welcome. Thank you so much for having me, Nick. I really
I know
appreciate
it's
it.
election time. You are a professional in your business, and election time is very busy and very close. So we're going to go directly and talk about the election. I just said in Arabic, you know, we are introduce you so the people that have they can make the decision which person they're going to pick. So hopefully today we give them enough information about you, so when they go and pick you, you know, they voted for you. Hopefully they have enough knowledge not to make a different decision. They make the right decision to pick the right person. Welcome to our show again.
Thank you. Thank you.
Kimberly, every time we start with the interview, I ask my guest to tell our audience, the viewers, who is the person and what they do in their life, where they born, just like information about yourself. Can you tell us about yourself?
Sure. So currently I'm a law professor at the University of Michigan Law School. So I teach students here in Michigan, and I teach them the practice of law. And so I've been an attorney for 25 years. But before I was an attorney and before I was a law professor, I don't come from a family of attorneys or law professors. I come from a very hardworking family. I was the first person in my family to go to university straight from high school. And I grew up in Maryland. And I moved to Detroit in 1994. And I was originally a reporter at the Detroit News. And then
What channel?
Yes, it was a really great job. And I really loved talking to people and hearing their stories and hearing what was going on with them. And then I was in the newspaper unions in 1995 when the newspapers went out on strike, and really took that as an opportunity to think about what I wanted to do, think about what I was passionate about. And I was really passionate about the law and how it affects people's lives, and so I decided to go to law school.
Oh, so you were in 1995 in Sterling Heights when they have Detroit News and Free Press. They have a
Yes,
strike.
I was in Detroit, yes.
Yeah, 16 Mile and Mound. I remember that very well. You know, that took time, about 60 days or something till they finished the strike.
It was a long time, yeah.
It was a very long time. So you went to school. Which school you went to? College?
I went to undergraduate. I went to the University of Maryland, which was my state university, and then for law school, I went to Harvard Law School.
Well, that's very nice, excellent. When my attorney, his son, he went to Harvard, and he's an attorney too right now, but he practiced his own private. So ever you work your own private office, or you work for a corporation, or how you spend your time?
Yeah, after law school, I graduated magna cum laude, and then I worked for a judge. So I worked for a federal judge and really learned a lot from him about both, you know, making sure that, you know, he wanted to make sure everything was correct, and that he's applying the law properly, but also I saw how he treated everyone around him as a very high-powered judge, and that he treated them with kindness and respect, and he has been a really amazing mentor to me.
Oh, so you're a role model.
Yes.
Yeah, so you learn from him.
I learned a lot from him.
Hopefully when you become a judge, you be fair with people and kind. You treat the people kind.
Yes, yes.
Hopefully you do that. So you from Maryland. What make you come to Michigan?
So I came here for the job with the Detroit News.
I see.
So,
Okay.
yes,
So then you went to Harvard. You studied there, and you finished, and you came back to Michigan. You stayed in Michigan.
So
Do you have family, children, husband?
yes, yes. So I live in Washtenaw County here in Michigan with my husband and my two children. I have two tweenagers, so 12 and 16-year-old boys. They are
Troublemaker?
amazing. No, not too much.
They're not rebellion
No,
yet?
not too
yet?
much. Yes, they're actually, of course, they're my joy, and I'm really grateful for them.
So between your job and your children, the family and husband, it's not easy. For women, always a little bit harder than men. Because normally I know now we get involved in our children's life, but I know my wife, she spends more time with kids. I am more outside, How you manage to do teaching in a university and you taking care of the kids, and now you're running for campaign. How hard is that?
It's a lot of work. It really is a lot of work, but each of them is worthwhile. I volunteer at their school. I try to be engaged, and I really, I care about, of course, my professional life as well as my family, and so it's worth the hard work.
In the University of Michigan, we have a lot of Chaldean and Middle Eastern going to these schools. I'm sure you encountered many of them there. And we have a lot of kids, our kids in our community. Right now we have a huge, before, our community, before they used to, all of us, we have liquor stores or gas station. Our children, they become smarter than us. We have work hard. They work hard, but most of them, they become, either lawyers or doctors or CPAs or engineers. So they born here, they have better language. For me, when I came to America, I have 6 members of my family, none of them spoke English. So I have to work from 9 a.m. to 12 midnight, 7 days a week to support big family. I was an older person. For you and your kids and my kids today, it's a lot easier, it's not easy, but, because of the language, and there's somebody else to support them and take care of them. And I hope your family, your parents, they took good care of you when you went to school. You didn't leave with a bunch of loans to pay the university. So after you finish the school and you work at the Detroit News, then you want to teach in the universities. What make you choose or thinking about running for Supreme Court judge?
So, one thing is my own children, right? Thinking about what we want our legal system to look like, and that we want to have a system that has fairness, that has equity, that we want to give that to our children. We want to sort of create that for them and move our system toward that. So thinking about my own children, and of course thinking about the law students that I teach. They come to the law school with optimism about how our legal system can be, and they know it's not perfect, but it's a great system, and we want to make it as good as we can. We want to make sure that people have access to that system, that they get decisions that are fair, that the law is applied to everyone the same, no matter who they are. And seeing that insistence in my own students about the values that our legal system needs to have and has, really made me want to run for the Michigan Supreme Court. I really
So
think
one day you woke up, you said, "Oh, Kimberly, I'm thinking, you know what? Today I'm going to run for the Supreme Court." Or was it?
I had to think about it a little more than that.
It's not just you woke up. I saw the news. There's one of the judges retiring. I'm going to be a judge. You didn't think about that. So tell us a little bit about Supreme Court. How many judges? What is the terms? So people, they understand what's the Supreme Court. Judges.
Yeah. So there are 7 judges on the Michigan Supreme Court. Their terms are 8 years long, and so I'm running for a full 8-year term on the Michigan Supreme Court. And those terms are at irregular intervals. And so this year, in this November's election, there are two state Supreme Court justices up for, on the ballot here in Michigan, and the rest are not up for a re-election or election this year.
So how many people are running for these 2 seats? How many candidates?
Yeah, and so the party, the way it works is it's a nonpartisan election. And so when people get their ballots in November, there are no party affiliations with that. And that's really important, right? You want our state Supreme Court justices to represent everyone, and not just, the party that they belong to or the party that nominated them. You want to make sure that those justices feel like they are supposed to represent all Michiganders.
Sure.
But the way that justices get put on the ballot is a nomination through the state party, the political party process.
Sure. So how many people running for these 2 seats?
Yeah. So
how many of you running for the seats?
Yes. So for each seat, each political party will put up a candidate.
I see. Okay. So, and you said it's 8 years term.
Yes.
There's a term limit, or there's no term limit for how many terms they can run?
Yeah. So Supreme Court justices can run until they turn 70 years old, and then they can't
so
run after that.
if I'm running, I'm a judge. If I'm 71, I cannot run.
You can't run.
But if I'm 69 or 70, I can run and spend.
If you're 69, you can run. Yes.
I can run. Okay. If I am able to run.
Right.
That's great. So, if the viewers today, they watching us today in our communities, they're gonna say, you know what, Nikki brought this beautiful lady here, and you're talking about her. Why we should, vote for her, not for somebody else. So, what do you tell the community?
Yeah, so I want to let them know that I have, I've been a lawyer for 25 years. I have represented hundreds, if not thousands, of clients in our legal system, and I understand how, how their needs need to be met, and also how our legal system needs to work to its best potential. And also I have the knowledge, of course, coming from the university about sort of a breadth of legal knowledge that I think is really important to have on our highest court. We want our state Supreme Court to, be making decisions that have integrity, to be making decisions that are applying the law in the closest way possible to, what the law and our Constitution requires.
By the way, there's a lot of your students, maybe they're watching this show. They're gonna call me and they ask me, Nick, she's my teacher, she's my professor, she's in my school, so I'm gonna hear that a lot.
That would be wonderful.
That's a good thing. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna ask them, do you think she's good to run or not?
I think they will. I think they will recommend me.
As long as you let them pass. I'm just joking. So, I run before as a state rep, and I know to run in a position requires many things. Require money, require vote. Voting is the most important thing. It requires money. It requires volunteers. Required sign somebody. So please do me a favor. Talk to our community how they can help you. Ask them how they can be helped.
So the most important thing, first and foremost, is to vote in the nonpartisan ballot in November, especially for the state Supreme Court. People vote for one party or the other, but you have to choose the candidates on the nonpartisan ballot, and so people to do their research, to decide which candidates they want, and to vote on that nonpartisan ballot is extremely important. Our state Supreme Court is the last decider for all state court legal issues, and so that vote really matters for everyone here in Michigan. Of course, I would love if anyone wanted to learn more about me or to volunteer with my campaign. My campaign website is electkimberlythomas.com, or you can follow me on social media at KT for Justice. And so if anyone's interested in getting involved, I would love to have them.
Sure, definitely. People, I have a lot of time, people, they said, Nick, how we can, so what I do, I offer my phone number, if you don't mind. So somebody need to reach you. If they didn't get the website, they can call me and I can refer to you if you don't mind.
Fantastic.
أعزائي المشاهدين، لو أي شخص يريد يتصل بالسيدة كيمبرلي، يريد يساعدها بالانتخابات أو بالتبرعات أو يريد يحكي وياها ويعرف أفكارها، ممكن يتصل بي على الرقم 586-206-9000 586 206-9000 وأنا أتصل أعطي تلفونها أو الإيميل للسيدة كيمبرلي حتى تجاوب أسئلتكم أو تساعدوها أنتم بالانتخابات. I just said, you know, if you didn't have a chance to get the website, give me a call and I will refer you, talk to you and try to help you. We ask about the age, how old then you cannot run. I forgot to ask a question. Is there an age how young you could be to run, or there's no age?
You have to have been practicing for a certain amount of time and be a licensed attorney. I definitely qualify.
So there's age limit. It could be 30 years, could be 25, or there's no age.
It's a years of practice.
How many?
I think it's only 5.
5 years.
It was not a big hurdle.
So
for
if
me.
I'm 24, I graduated. Was that 6 years to school or 8 years?
It's 3 years or 4 years at university and 3 years at law school.
So 7 years. If I go to college, I'm 18, so I have to be 25 or 26 to graduate. Then I have to practice 5 years. So minimum age is like 31, 32 to be.
I'm not even sure. Yeah,
sure
I just know that it wasn't a hurdle for me.
So. You're not 69. You don't have to worry about that. That's the most important thing. So, number one, I wish you good luck.
Thank you.
And hopefully we'll see you soon again before the election or after the election. And then maybe we'll come to your chamber. We'll sit and talk to you. So, hey, remember me. Do you have a primary?
I don't have a primary.
No problem.
So it's just in
there's
November.
August. There's nobody going to vote for you. They're going to go all the way to November.
That's right.
And they vote there. أعزائي المشاهدين بالنسبة لها ما عدا واحد ضدها فما عدا انتخابات بأوغست بشهر 8 ما عدا بشهر 11. فإذا تروحون للانتخابات بشهر 11 المحكمة العليا لولاية ميشيغان الأمريكية القاضية السيدة كيمبرلي تامس راح تكون موجودة بورقة الانتخابات. وطبعا الانتخابات للقضاة ما لها علاقة بالحزب، ما تنتمي إلى حزب معين، لأنه انتخابات غير حزبية هي قضائية وتكون لازم حيادية. فماكو جمهوريين ديمقراطيين ريبابليك وديمقراط ماكو، كلها بس الانتخابات حرة بالنسبة لها. فتروحون بنوفمبر وتنتخبون السيدة كيمبرلي، وإن شاء الله استفادتوا من هذه الحلقة. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much.
Hopefully we should good luck again, and hopefully we'll see you as Supreme Court judge. You are qualified. I qualify you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Hopefully we'll see you in November 7. Is that November 7?
November, Tuesday in November on the nonpartisan ballot.
We'll be there and have a drink. No drinks from the judges. أعزائي المشاهدين، نيك نجار مقدم ومعد البرنامج موفرز اند شيكرز من على قناة MEA. كنا في لقاء مع السيدة كيمبرلي تامس المرشحة للمحكمة العليا لولاية ميشيغان الأمريكية، وإن شاء الله نلتقي وياكم قريبا مع ضيف آخر وشخصية أخرى لنعطيكم المعلومات لمن تنتخبون ولمن عندكم معلومات كفاية للانتخابات. شكرا جزيلا وإلى اللقاء في حلقة قادمة.